Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Tuesday, July the 27th, and starting on the weekly chart here. So I need to go back over this again, is that this is the length of wave 1 here, just roughly with my yardstick, and that's the length of wave 3. So normally we would see wave 3 longer than wave 1. It's okay to have wave 3 shorter as long as wave 5 is shorter than wave 3. And there may be a case for that because, you know, they pumped a fair bit of money into the system. Well, they haven't really stopped, have they? So, you know, there's no signs of stopping at this particular stage. So, you know, perhaps we can just stay with our third wave being longer. So at this current stage, it would need to get to up to this price here just to be sort of equal. But we also know too that wave 3 that would only give equality at this number, so it would be logical to have wave 3 sitting way up here for this. Now I don't know if that's too much or too little and all this sort of stuff. We don't really know the answers, but we just got to stay with the trend, and we're smart enough, and the Elliott helps us to stay with the impulse waves, you know, on the in line with the trend. So yeah, look, where this wave 3 goes, I'm not quite sure. That's you know, I can get the length of wave 1 there and add 61.8% and project it from wave 2 and send it higher. We can do all these sorts of things, but it's still not going to give us the real answer that we need, you know. So it would only be just be more fluff. So yeah, anyway, that's one of the things that we're facing, and I keep going back over it, and I will keep going back over it, and yeah, I've got a count that sort of finishes around here, and I've got a count that takes us even higher. So I don't know which is the right one, so we'll just have to play it by ear. But besides that, you know, if you were holding, you know, assets, stock assets and things, well, you can see that wave 5 is still a long way up here. We haven't had wave 4 yet. I mean, to me, that's pretty obvious. So this market being at 5,000 at some particular point in time is, you know, it's definitely on the, well, definitely, certainly, you know, possibly, maybe, you know, but we should get there, be looking at the size of wave 1 here, even if wave 5 was half the size. So yeah, anyway, we just keep discussing that. So I've got 2 counts, one that takes us to here, one that takes us further up. Which is right, I don't know. Time will tell. But we won't be too, you know, even if we are wrong, we're not going to be that far off being wrong, you know. So with that in mind, let's go in and have a bit of a look. I think first of all, my longer term sort of position, this one here, is this one here. I've put these little green guys in, little green Martians in. So yeah, so from wave 4 here to wave 5 here, just looking at the possibility of wave 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 here, and then a third wave here. And this third wave, well, it's really the third of the third here. So we'll see how strongly it pushes along. We know that we're in earnings season at the moment. I'm not a full book and up to date with everything, but the stocks that we normally follow in this video, they're all, well, a lot of them are reporting this week, after hours, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's possible, you know. But anyway, this is the longer sort of count. The shorter count would be, I think I've got it here, which is a bit shorter. So all it does here, it's not fully labeled, but from this wave 4 here to wave 5 here, it would just look for 5 more waves up here. So we've got 1 and 2, which we're chasing at the moment, and waves 3, 4, and 5. So we're looking at those anyway. But then when they finish, then we could have a wave 4 come into play at that point. So yeah, we'll just be cautious up here. So once we finish these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll just you know, make sure that we're in a safe position at that particular point, and we'll just observe what's going on, and we'll compare this count to the count, you know, our longer term count. Yeah, so I may have an answer before we get there, you know, but in a nutshell, these are the two things that we've been tracking, you know, that I've been tracking to the upside for these. So, yeah, like I said, in the meantime, it doesn't really matter. We're still on this. I'm confident with this particular move here as I have been for this wave 1 and 2 here. So anyway, let's just continue to cruise in, and kind of going back to my longer term count here for this, which really has wave 1 and wave 2 here, which I'm happy with. I'm happy with this wave 1 and 2 as well. Pulled right back into the 61.8%. It was nice and sharp, like this one here, simple and sharp. And this wave 1 here is sort of stretching its legs out here quite nicely as well. So what I mean by that is that it's come all the way up to the top here for this one. So yeah, no, it's looking good. So I'll just remove these a little bit. So in a nutshell, we're still, I know I have got this label, but we will be looking at how this is labelled here. So we're still looking for that little top there. We could look at this as the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. So in a way, we're still looking for this to give us an ABC pattern before further upside here. Yeah, so I mean, we've had a correction across here, but really that correction here hasn't really stopped, you know, because it's really in this trend channel here. You know, it could just keep going. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't really consider this a correction at this level. I mean, this I would, you know, it's it's broken out of its channel, so to speak. So yeah, that's sort of where we are at the moment. So we're going to go in and really just drill in and have a look at this situation here. So yeah, I think we'll just go to the 15-minute chart, I think, for this. Yeah, anyway, let's just go here for a second. Got to figure out what I've what I've been doing. So this is it here. I'll have a look on the tick chart too, just to see if I think I've got a different count on the tick chart. But yeah, so yeah, I have got a different chart on the tick chart, and that's okay too. But yeah, so I was just expecting this to move up a little bit further, but like we said, we've got earnings, so they could push, you know, from those big frank stocks, they can move the market around a little bit. But yeah, we've just been waiting for this ABC pattern here. It could pull all the way down to the 50-60% retracement level, or the 50, or stay within group 2 here for this. I'd feel a little bit anxious about this correcting, you know, if this number here, if the top of group 1, so 4,400, and then we've got 10, 20, and 30. So if the 30 here, the 4,430 here finds a tested support with a nice clean support, you know, with the classic trading levels pattern type of thing. So if that's the 4,430 across here, we have the arrival, the reaction. It's okay to have the first high above the level, but then I'd expect it to fail at that point and come back down. But if it has this correction here and then finds support over here, then you know that the market's going to be going up further at that point. You'll need to be looking at 4,450 at that point. Okay, so it's really about, will it get support on this level or not? And this is what support looks like. There can be a variation where we don't come back below the level here, that's there. But looking for that first reference point, you know, because if it doesn't react at this level and just keeps going straight up there, well, then it will become the overshoot pattern, which is this one here, where it doesn't stop at the level. And if it doesn't stop at the level, then it's highly likely to fold back over, and the distance it goes above is roughly the distance it goes below, but it still has the same end effect because the human nature works into the closest largest number, and we can move up from that point. So yeah, that 4430 there is a if it gets support on that, it won't be coming back into this. I'm just going to go to the tick charts now, and because I think I've got it counted a bit differently here. Oh, it must be in the NASDAQ I'm thinking of, yeah, but still, this is the other count here as well. A little bit weird, but 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 here, and 5 here for 1 and 2, and then all up here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third, and it does come back in this case here, but only to the fourth wave here, so we'll just need to be aware of this, and then the fifth wave up here for this. So we'll just need to be a little bit careful about this one. Seems to be sort of stretching out even sort of further, you know. So a couple of things to watch here. Yeah, we'll either have the pullback to the wave 4 of one lesser degree, or we're going to have a deeper pullback at least to the 50, I suppose, for wave 2. But yeah, this could also happen as well, so we just need to be mindful about this. I kind of like this count actually. But we'll see. We'll compare this to the NASDAQ counter as well. So I'll just put this out the way for the moment. This is the Russell here, so we've been triggered in long down here. We've been looking at this here as well, wave 3, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. You could probably also get a triangle pattern out of it still with an E wave here for this, but we're looking at being long in here. So on the 1 hour chart, we've been triggered in here, so we've been counting 5 waves up here. We waited for the top to come into play. We waited for it to move down. We wanted to go long on the B wave here. You could have also, I wasn't there to do that, you can drop it down to this next level here, of course, because you start up here and you just keep bringing it down onto the onto the highs, you know. But still, anyway, it does appear that we've got a bit of an impulse wave starting here now. So we'll just see how that plays out here, probably something like this, and then moving off from that point there. But that's the Russell. So the NASDAQ, we're at 15,000, and we'll probably see a bit of a classic trading levels pattern here. That is because we have already got part of the pattern here. So the market's moved up here and reacted from here, and pulled back in its correction, and we're looking for 5 waves up here. And then it can either pull back for wave 4, coming back to this wave 4 here, or we need to compare it to the S&P 500, where we have this up for wave 1, back for wave 2, up for wave 3, 4, and 5, moving higher up. So yeah, I don't know which one is the correct one for this. Let me just go to the 4-hour chart. So this one here looks like this. Here it just takes us higher in 5 waves, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I don't know if it if it pulls back to this wave 4 here and then moves up from that point. So we'll just need to be, the setup will be quite easy, because once this tops out here, right, then we're going to have some sort of pullback here, and then we'll be able to look to go long through that point on that high here. So that would play out quite nicely in that. So just on the hourly chart here, I've got it. It's counted 1 degree higher here, but it looks, I think that we're quite close to the top here in this space, but I don't think we're there yet. We just need, if that's 3 and 4 here, then we go up to 5 here. We could go a little bit higher, But like I said, the main point here that we're looking for is this corrective pattern coming across here. You either need to accommodate that in your trading, or sort of work the trend a little bit. So let's just move in here a bit further. I just want to double check on a few things. So this is the count here. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with it. It's just how this plays out. It's how this plays out. Is that belong there? Is that 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5 to here, to 15.2 roughly? I'm not sure, but the trend is still up, so don't get me wrong, but you know, it hasn't broken its trend channel, so to speak, as yet. Well, we'll put that. That's not really the right way to go. Let me just do the right thing here, so we can go 1 and 3. Can we get it that close? Probably. I should really go there. But I think we can pop it in there for the sake of it. So, you know, if it pops out of that, you know, we've got 1 and 3 here attached to 2. If it pops out here, then you'll know that that it's turned at that point. I just don't know how high it's going to go, and because we've got those stocks that are you know, doing their earnings, then, you know, something left field may come out of that. You never know. So it may push it higher or lower. But yeah, I don't think it doesn't really want to sort of, I can see it's got strength in it, and we need to take out that high. This is corrective, and so we can push up. But the more that it moves away from this large number here, the tougher it's going to get for it, because it hasn't this trend hasn't rebalanced yet, and it's at the later stages of the trend, and this number would weigh heavy on it. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I'll just see if I've got anything on the tick chart that's different. Okay, so this is another count, but just it's the same thing. Just in this count, it just includes this as wave 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then building all the way up here for this. So can I see this a little bit clearer? Well, it's definitely, it still wants to go up, and it's sitting really nicely. See how it's square? It's sitting on the 100, and 1 is the strongest number. So yeah, look, while it's above that, then it's up. I'm not just sure where to put this wave 4 actually. I mean, it looks like an ABC to this point. I need to just pull that apart a bit further. I need to look at, I can see that it's got impulses in here, and wants to build up further. So maybe, yeah, I mean, this accumulation process should get us to 2. So there's still upside yet. It hasn't turned, okay, but we're expecting a turn. Okay, so I think we need to look at stock now, and this is just China. This is just the A50, the top 50 stocks. It's a CFD product, but yeah, it's interesting to see China sort of moving down while the US is moving up, and that's not a good thing for the US or thing. I mean, it's important that markets have corrections, you know, to rebalance them in real ways, you know. Anyway, apart from that, you can look at the Asian video for that. Tesla, right? So yeah, I think we're on the right track. It's nice to see it moved up from this point here. I bought a few of these myself. So, yeah, the reason I bought some of these myself was for more for long-term sort of stuff. So I thought I would get an electric car or some solar panels or something later on in life. So I don't really care where it goes. So my trade in this doesn't really matter that much. The thing here is that we're in the middle of a correction, you know. So we're not in a trending market. Yes, we're expecting it to move up. It's doing all the right things. It didn't pull back here, so that means that I can look at this here as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. I think these guys, did they do their earnings last night or tonight? I'm not sure. I'm just, yeah, I can't help you on that. I'm just the pattern person. So yeah. You know, we could still look at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here for this and going up for 5. And maybe I'll adjust it later because we've got a bullish count that takes us all, you know, takes us up to wave 5 from this particular point there. And, you know, I'm happy to go that. Yeah, this 5 wave structure here at the beginning of the trend is still lingering on, you know, it's still there. So that should reflect back out over here. If it was going to be bullish, it could reflect back in here, this 5 waves as an ABC, and offsets this one here. And that's it. That's where the wave 4 basically sits over here for that. So that's possible. I just don't want to get people too excited about that just yet because it's not looking that fantastic in terms of a bullish market. This could certainly be counted corrective, and maybe I don't even have the right count here, but on the intraday basis I know sort of where we're at a little bit for this. So yeah, anyway, a long trade has been triggered in here, and yeah, we'll just go up to the box basically. It's that simple for that. And I'm just going to move through quick today. Two-face here, so that's Facebook. So this is, we're expecting a nice strong move here in this move here. So this is triggered in nicely as well. No need to look at the intraday yet. This has still got further to go up. There will be profit taking at 380. So if that considers that, well then that's fine. You've also got group 2 in here, so that will be 365 and 372. They will play out their part in group 2 as well, but the number 8 here is the profit taking number. That's the one that you want to watch. But yeah, that's all good. That's all further up. And Square. So with Square here, let's go back to the bigger picture here. So we've got wave 3 over here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. It's also possible to put this wave 1 up here with blue wave 2 here based on a little move that's in here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and 2 here. I still need to resolve that. All I really wanted to do here, and I haven't bought myself here, but we wanted to get a position under this, under the level. The level is 250 because 2 major levels, 100, 200, 300, 500, and a medium level is halfway between 2 major levels. So that's in there. We wanted to get a position under the level and above the level. This little move up here is like the S&P and so on, so it will fold back at some point. We put a little trend line in there. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but we've got group 2 here, which also act as resistance. So we're expecting a move back here. It hasn't occurred so far, and we've just been looking at that. Certainly, a trend's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you can see, you know, the beginning here wasn't a great building process, but the middle is strong. In the end, all the ranges are getting quite small, so we will see that come back, and it could come back 50 or 60%. So just be mindful of that. As far as our trade goes, it doesn't really matter because we know that this hasn't really been tested at this point. So we'll just hang in for all of this and leave the stop out of the way there for that. And Apple, yeah, okay, Apple's looking good. We've hit the 150 here, and we could be looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here still, so I'll just leave that there. It can also just move straight up from that point there as well, as I mentioned before. But, you know, there's a lot of mucking around to do there. So because we've got the reaction at the 150, and now we're about here, this is where we are in this pattern at the 150 here. So we're just going to be here for a long time, for a while, you know what I mean? So there's nothing really to do except understand and accommodate this pattern emotionally and financially. And yeah, I mean, we've got to get to over here. I mean, the normal thing with the trading levels, if you will, is to trade to here, get out, and then get back in over here. And there will be moments where, you know, when this pulls back here, you'll be relieved, and then you'll be upset because it's gone up here, and then you think, oh, I've still got half a silly chance, and then, you know, so it's a big emotional event, you know, really. So, but yeah, all my days of stock trading, we would just get out here and don't worry about what happens in all of this, because sometimes this could take, you know, weeks. It could take 6 months. I mean, you know, so it's a burnout time in that space. So yeah, it really helps managing simple support and resistance helps. So this would be resistance when it gets here, and then support over here, and it'll save you. You know, you could be using that money somewhere else in another trend somewhere. But anyway, that's a long story. And in this case, we've got a bit of a double whammy, because if this is 1 and 2 here, this will be 3, 4, and 5. So we've got 3 and 4 to get through here, and 5, and then we've got this wave 3 and 4 as well. So it's going to spend some time up here for this. So just be prepared for that. You could be there for 3 months. I mean, I don't know, but you know. Okay, so Amazon next. So this Amazon's just on the tick chart here for this, so we're just going to squash it in a little bit. We've got wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, and we're looking for this to move back, so that's all good, and we don't need these things here for this. So in a way, with the same thing is happening with this little trend to the upside here. That's the same as the other guy, the indices, and we're looking for a top there. So we're looking for some sort of top to play out here shortly, and then a pullback, and then up from that point. So that's where we are there. I haven't bothered counting this here. I can still see that's got further to go up there. We must have talked about going long there, or maybe back long here. I can't remember. But anyway, we'll just leave it there. Yeah, so that's all good there. So nothing really to concern ourselves with. We know that the market's going to go a little bit higher and correct with the indices, and the stocks are the ones that are going to make that happen. Is there anything else I can glean from here? No, it's okay. Still, it can go up higher, that's all. And Alphabet as well. So with Alphabet here, we're looking at wave 3, 4, and then going up for 5. So 5, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 5 for wave 1 and 2. So this is a tick chart here, okay? That was the length of wave 1. Right, so that's the length of wave 3 that we need at minimum. So we've gone through that, so that's good. We don't need that now. And yeah, so 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. We've been through all of that. And I'll just clean my lines up here, because as you know, when I close this particular platform, everything gets squashed up. So this has really moved along nicely here for this. So also looking for this wave 3 as well. You know, that's the thing that we're looking for really in indices and most stocks and so on. Will it get up here? I don't know, and I wouldn't worry about it too much at this stage, but this trend here is in line with the trends that the indices are having, so we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here. And it looks like it's actually 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but I'll just keep it simple at that point. This would all be, that would be wave 4 here and wave 5. So not a lot to go up to here. And we'll see some sort of correction come into play. But I think for our trades here, we'll just hold through this. I mean, technically it can come back to the wave 4 one less degree here. Or another way to look at this is taking this low here, of course, and taking it to the top. Or if I took it to that, if I took it right there, then the 38.2% retracement levels here. So that's a good guess. We can make adjustments if this moves a bit higher and so on. Not a biggie. It was nice to see that sort of really push out from that point, because it's just been so sort of, I don't know, tight really. So it's nice to see it move off for a while. Okay, well that's it, folks. That's the stocks. You definitely need to check to see the earning seasons on all of these. It's not something that I'm up to date with. We did go through a few of them yesterday, so I know that they're there. And that's it. So probably, what's today? Tuesday. Looking for the top of that wave 1, Tuesday. I wonder if that will come in actually on the Wednesday, Thursday again, you know. That will probably be the case. So if I just bring the S&P back here for a moment with this particular count, we've got a couple of counts. If this moves up even sort of higher here, that will take us into, yeah, so it may be, we'll know soon, but we'll see how it plays out. But it could be the Wednesday and Thursday that create this 1 and 2 over here in our bullish weekly cycle, and then push up from that point, you know. So yeah, I mean, always in a bull market, I always found Wednesday and Thursdays the tricky ones that would take out your stops. So I'd always move my stops well away for that if I wanted to stay in the markets. So yeah, that's that. Alrighty, all good. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.